Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. In this video, we explore Germany's history, its incredible technology, and the wars that shaped it.
Germania, a land of impenetrable darkness and ancient, twisted trees. It was here, amid
fueled by fire and the promise of plunder, they prepared for the raids that would shake the empire.
The legions marched deeper into the forest, completely unaware of the ambush awaiting them in the dense woods ahead.
The betrayal was absolute. With a single gesture, the fate of 3 legions and the future of...
The trap was sprung. In the treacherous, sodden depths of the Teutoburg forest, the legions were overwhelmed. This was the moment of ultimate humiliation. The eagle standard, the very soul of the legion.
The aftermath was absolute. This defeat stopped the Roman expansion into Germany forever.
From the roaring furnace came the very soul of the warrior. This blade, born of...
This is the Völkerwanderung, the wandering of the peoples. Driven by external pressures,
Cologne, once a jewel of the empire, now stood as a testament to the fragility of civilization.
The Frankish king uniting the tribes under Christianity, blending German strength with Roman faith.
In this dimly lit scriptorium, the laborious work of the monk represented the only light of knowledge in a profoundly dark time.
At the dawn of the 9th century, one man stood above all others. Charles, by the grace of God, King of the Franks.
And so, on Christmas Day in 800 AD, Pope Leo III placed the imperial...
Built by Charlemagne himself, this magnificent octagonal chapel, with its shimmering golden mosaics.
the feudal system was the bedrock of medieval society, with armored knights ensuring the king's peace across the realm.
The castle, whilst offering protection from invaders, was also a stark reminder of the feudal system that bound men like Thomas to the land.
These narrow cobblestone streets, still visible today, were once the vibrant heart of the town's commerce and daily life. Along the Great Rhine, these robber barons extracted their tolls, choking the flow of trade. It was a system.
Utilizing massive wooden treadwheel cranes, these medieval engineers achieved feats of staggering scale, lifting tons.
This was Hamburg, a jewel in the crown of the Hanseatic League. Here, the systematic loading of salt and
The Teutonic Knights, clad in their distinctive white cloaks, marched relentlessly into the unforgiving Prussian wilderness.
By the summer of 1348, the plague had reached Britain, carried by the fleas on the backs of these seemingly harmless rodents.
The year is 1665, and the Great Plague grips London.
Driven by the terror of the Black Death, these flagellants sought to appease a wrathful god through ritualized self-mutilation.
Here, in his workshop, Gutenberg labored over the crucial element, the metal type. This meticulous insertions. The significance of this moment cannot be overstated. It was the birth of the printed word. The moment Jakob Fugger the Rich, as he was known, transformed this very hall into the epicenter of European finance. This is the Holy Roman Empire, a fragmented map of hundreds of tiny states, resembling a patchwork quilt. It was October 31st, 1517. As the storm clouds gathered over Wittenberg.
It was October 31st, 1517. With these decisive blows, before the Diet, the Emperor demanded he recant.
A simple answer, Luther. Are you withdrawing your books?
Here I stand, I can do no other.
For the first time, Thomas could read the scriptures for himself. And in doing so, he realized the ultimate secret that the Peasants' War was a chaos fueled by new ideas. Here we see the farmers armed with pitchforks. Scarred and weary, the Landsknecht represented the brutal reality of Renaissance conflict. His loyal... As the treaties were signed in Münster and Osnabrück, a new European order began to emerge from the... moved over the sandy swamps of the 1700. A small...
Frederick William I, the Soldier King, prioritized absolute discipline. His Potsdam giants were the embodiment of this...
Young Frederick found solace not in the barracks, but in the melodies of his flute, a stark contrast to his father's military obsession.
The goose step was more than just a parade ground flourish. It was a stark demonstration that the Prussian army...
It was here, at Leuthen, that Frederick executed the oblique order. Marching parallel to the Austrians,
The exquisite Sanssouci Palace, a jewel of Rococo architecture, served as Frederick's summer retreat. Poland's fate was sealed by the blades of empire. Prussia, Russia, and Austria extinguished Polish.
Immanuel Kant, the heart of the German Enlightenment, took his daily walk with such precision that the residents of Königsberg could set their clocks by him. Prussia had expanded, emerging as a major European power, one that now overshadowed the Holy Roman Empire. 1806. Poland rides triumphantly through the gate, a devastating symbol of the Prussian...
It was here, at Tilsit, that the beautiful Queen Louise made her desperate appeal.
The Stein-Hardenberg reforms marked a pivotal moment. This document officially abolished serfdom.
The Battle of Leipzig in 1813 was the largest engagement of the Napoleonic Wars, a brutal clash involving over 500,000 men.
Against all odds, Field Marshal Blücher arrived at Waterloo. His timely intervention would forever seal the Emperor's fate.
Here at the Congress of Vienna, the diplomats set about redrawing the map of Central Europe, resulting in the loose German Confederation of 39 states. The streets of Berlin, 1848. The revolution had begun. As the citizens raised their barricades, the delegates assembled at Frankfurt finally offered the imperial crown.
I will not accept a crown from the gutter. The great questions of the day will not be settled by speeches, but by iron and blood.
The innovative Drace needle gun was a marvel of its age. Its rapid, bolt-action loading gave the Battle of Königgrätz in 1866 marked a turning point. With this decisive victory...
With a few strokes of his pencil, Bismarck transformed a routine diplomatic summary into a calculated insult.
The Prussian artillery pounded the French positions at Senden.
It was here, in the Hall of Mirrors, that the unified German Empire was formally proclaimed. And as the newly formed German Empire celebrated the architectician Otto Bismarck.
Deep in the Ruhr Valley, the Krupp Works symbolized Germany's emergence as an industrial juggernaut. Here,
The Kiel Canal 1914. Here, Kaiser Wilhelm II proudly displays his new high-seas fleet, a direct challenge to British naval supremacy.
The year is 1890. The young Kaiser, Wilhelm II, has finally dismissed Otto von Bismarck. As the presses ran hot in Berlin, the news spread. The assassination in Sarajevo dominated the head.
The Schlieffen Plan, Germany's great gamble. A massive, sweeping movement through neutral
The Western Front, a landscape defined by mud and barbed wire. As the machine guns opened fire, thousands were mowed down. This new chemical agent, designed to burn and incapacitate, drifted across the battlefield as a terrifying yellow fleece.
As the Kaiser fled to Holland by train, the armistice was signed in this very carriage.
Berlin in the 1920s, a city pulsating with energy. It was known as the Golden Twenties, a decade. The German mark had become virtually worthless. A simple loaf of bread now required a wheelbarrow full of banknotes.
The policy of passive resistance meant the workers simply stopped. They stood silently, watching the occupiers. The Reichsbank notes became mere playthings. The cost of manufacturing the money often exceeded its face value, making it literally cheaper than toys.
With the signing of the Dawes Plan, American capital flowed into Germany. The resulting economic stability.
Germany, leading the world in art.
The crash on Wall Street reverberated across the globe. In Germany, the ensuing depression brought the industrial heartland.
Hindenburg, confident in his own authority, believed he could manage the fiery demagogue. It was a grave miscalculation.
Unsere Aufgabe ist es, die Nation zu einen und zu führen.
This was the soundtrack to daily life.
But beneath the surface, this massive infrastructure project served a dual purpose, preparing the nation for rearmament. As the panzer tanks rolled into Vienna, they were greeted not with defiance, but with flowers and roaring cheers from the massive crowds.
The night of November 9th, 1938, became known as the Night of Broken Glass.
Having secured what he believed was peace for our time, Chamberlain returned a hero. Yet, beneath the surface...
Dawn, September 1st, 1939. The pre-war sequence closes as the German army masses on the Polish September 1939. The skies above Warsaw screamed as the Luftwaffe unleashed its terrifying new weapon, the Stuka dive bomber. Moving with relentless speed and coordination, the Panzer divisions swept through the French countryside.
The view from the Heinkel 111 offered a chilling panorama of the Blitz. Below them, London was June 1941, Operation Barbarossa. The largest land invasion in history commenced.
The conference proceeded with remarkable calm. The officials methodically formalized the systematic extermination, codenamed the Final Solution.
Shivering and disoriented, the new arrivals stepped onto the icy platform at Birkenau. For many, it was their final destination.
By December 1942, the Sixth Army was trapped, with temperatures plummeting to Thirth below.
Below, the cities of Germany learned the true meaning of total war. The firestorm in Dresden alone consumed thousands in a single night.
From this vantage point, the scale of the invasion was terrifying. It was clear to the defenders that this was not a raid, but the beginning of the end.
Amidst the wholesale destruction of Cologne, the great cathedral surprisingly still stands. A silent...
Feigning discomfort, Stauffenberg edged closer to the center support. The leather briefcase, now armed, was slowly pushed into position directly beneath Hitler. The capture of the Reichstag was more than a military objective. It was the symbolic end of the Third Reich.
Following the surrender, Germany was carved up by the victorious powers. The map shows the 4 occupation zones: American, British, French, and Soviet.
Gail Halvorson's simple idea blossomed into Operation Little Vittles, bringing not just sustenance, but hope to the blockaded city.
The Allied powers formalized the division, creating the Federal Republic in the west and the German Democratic Republic in the east.
As the 1950s progressed, West Berlin began its remarkable recovery. The Wirtschaftswunder saw cranes...
And so, chassis number 1 rolled off the line. For these men, it represented not just employment.
And then, the final whistle. The impossible had happened.
Das Spiel ist aus! Deutschland ist Weltmeister!
On the morning of August 13th, 1961, the Soviet sector began to be sealed. Families were instantly divided.
Let us through, please, let us through!
Under the watchful eyes of the Grenztruppen, the hurried construction continued, segment by segment, brick by brick.
This was the precipice. For 16 hours in October 1961, the world held its breath as
Deep within the Stasi's secret listening posts, every conversation across the Republic was meticulously monitored.
As the Cold War drew to a close, the death strip remained a chilling testament to the division, a lethal no man's land.
By late 1989, the protests in Leipzig had grown too large to ignore. The people demand.
The crowds swelled at the checkpoints. For days, the guards held the line, but tonight, November 9th,
piece by piece, the symbol of division began to crumble, revealing not just the other side, but the hope of a reunified nation.
And so, on this historic night, with fireworks illuminating the Berlin sky,
January 2002 marked the end of an era. The beloved Deutsche Mark was finally replaced by the euro. By the mid-2010s, the dominance of German engineering was absolute, exemplified by the synchronized ballet of these assembly robots.
Closing the reunification sequence, the glass dome stands as a symbol of transparency, allowing the people to walk above the politicians.
This was the Willkommenskultur, a moment of unprecedented openness as thousands of... The Energiewende, or energy transition, is nowhere more apparent than here in the vastness of the North Sea.
Here in Munich, the next great technological leap is being forged. These quantum machines promise to redefine the very boundaries of computation.
Even in the modern age, the heart of Oktoberfest remains unchanged, a testament to Bavarian resilience.
A new generation gathered at the historic gate, their voices echoing the urgent call for change.
As the century progressed, the face of German engineering underwent a profound transformation, embracing talent from across the globe. This is Manhattan, the Frankfurt skyline, now cemented as the financial heart of the European Union in the wake of Britain's exit.
At the newly established Nevada Proving Grounds, the maglev system achieved speeds previously thought impossible.
Rising above the ancient trees, we see a striking contrast. The villages of the Black Forest are harnessing the power of the sun. Berlin in 2026 stands as a testament to green urbanism. A city reborn, efficient and utterly peaceful.
As we drift into the near future, the Rhine Valley remains a constant. Yet, the advent of silent... The integration of the exoskeleton allows Mr. Davies a level of mobility previously thought impossible.
By 2024, the robotic extrusion of concrete layers offered a revolutionary answer to the persistent housing crisis.
As the continent moved towards deeper integration, the role of a unified became paramount.
This is the Wendelstein 7X, a monumental leap in clean fusion.
It's working.
Here we see the beautifully restored Dresden, where the Frauenkirche glows at sunset, its scars of war now fully healed.
The Bundesadler, steeped in history, now surveys a reunified Berlin, a powerful symbol.
From this vantage point, the autobahns appear as the very arteries of the continent, pulsing with the relentless flow of commerce and culture.